else supposed to be here in person, Vicky? Okay. All right, it's just about 9:30. So let's begin. You might want to sit up on a lift. It may be more comfortable on a lift. Try sitting up. If it's less comfortable, then you don't have to use it, Monica. Does that feel okay? Because what it does when you're up on a lift, it one relaxes the groins a little bit more, which then reflects up to the shoulders. All right, take your shoulders over your hips. Just rest your hands lightly on your thighs. Don't do the gripping of the knees right now. Just gentle resting of your hands on your thighs so that your fingers are not gripping, they're just resting. Bring your awareness to your sit bones and find the even balance of your two sit bones, left sit bone, right sit bone. Lengthen from the inner thighs to the inner knees. But there's also a drawing back from the upper inner thighs to the lower abdomen, so that that whole area between the lower abdomen and the inner knee, the entire groin, because the groin connects at the abdomen, that entire groin is lengthening. And you have to go slow and steady with that one. It's not, one big stretch. It's not like, let's with all stretches you want to go slow and steady, but it's not like, the hamstring or some other muscles where you can just immediately feel that stretch. This one is it's a long, slow, continuous lengthening. And at the same time, draw from the outer knees to the outer hips and compact the hips together. And you have to find an understanding in the legs where you're compacting the hips and you're lengthening the inner legs at the same time. So the outer legs are contracting, gripping, and the inner legs are lengthening. We're used to either, well, let's stretch everything, or let's grip everything, but this is different. We're looking to use the body differently. So can you find that place where the outer leg is working quite strongly? But if you do it too strongly, then you'll grip the inner leg too. So where the outer leg is working quite strongly, but not taking over for the inner leg's lengthening. And for some of us, it takes some time to get to that delicate place. Now keep that understanding of the legs and begin to lengthen through the side ribs. Lengthen from your hips to your armpits. Resist pushing the front bottom ribs forward. That hardens the diaphragm. So draw the front bottom ribs towards the back body so the diaphragm remains soft. And find a lengthening from the hips all the way up through the armpits. Lengthen then from your inner armpits to your inner elbows. Allow your shoulders to draw down. As your elbows draw down, the shoulders draw down. The shoulders move away from the sides of your neck. Now, keeping the elbows where they are, begin to bring your palms together with your thumbs at your chest. Touch the palms evenly left to right, right to left. As you touch the palms evenly, find a broadening from the center of the sternum across the collarbones to the tips of the shoulders. And also find a broadening from between the shoulder blades out to the back corners of the shoulders. So both the front and back bodies are widening. On the inhalation, lengthen the spine. And on the exhalation, widen the torso. Let all the facial features release and relax. Rest your eyes into your cheekbones. Gaze at your heart, the seat of your heart, the seat of the soul. And let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together. Exhaling completely, deep inhalation. Om. Lifting your sternum towards the ceiling, lower your chin towards your heart. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. And gently allow your eyelids to open. And I forgot to unmute people, so I'm going to unmute people first. Or mute people, rather. I forgot to mute people. There we go. All right, let's start off in Adho Mukha Virasana, child's pose going forward. So take your feet together, your knees apart, and sit back on your heels. And keeping the sit bones on your heels, yep. Keeping your sit bones on your heels, walk your hands forward and extend. Now, if your head easily goes to the floor, that's fine. Otherwise, you take a block and you rest your forehead on the block so you can lengthen the back of the neck. Yeah, so take a block, Monica. Take a block underneath your head. Turn it, yeah, there you go. That's it. Now let the skull release and relax. Okay? Let the skull release and relax. Spread the fingers and touch the palm completely. Now lift the elbows towards the ceiling and take the outer shoulders towards the floor. Yeah, elbows up. I know. Doesn't work, right? When the elbows come up, the shoulders come up. When the shoulders go down, the elbows drop. So you, again, have to find that place in the middle where the elbows go up and the outer shoulders go down. Right? We're working differently with the body. When you get those opposite actions, there's a releasing both in the skull, but also here between the shoulder blades and that neck shoulder connection. And find a lengthening from the tip of the first finger all the way through the inner arms, through the armpits, through the side ribs. Find an evenness on the two sides of the body. And then move your sits bones towards the wall behind you. Allow your abdomen to be released and relaxed. Don't push it towards the floor, nor do you have to pull it up towards the spine. And observe the breath. Observe the breath. You've created a shape with the body, posture, and asana. Observe how the breath breathes you when you are in this pose, this posture, this asana, this form. And then come up onto your hands and knees. Take your shoulders over your wrists, knees slightly behind your hips. Press down through the ball of the first finger and thumb as you rotate the upper arms out. But as you rotate the upper arms out, there's a tendency to fall to the outer hand. So again, press through the inner hand, the ball of the first finger and thumb, and rotate the upper arms out. And you get both those actions where one isn't overpowering the other. Push into the floor to lengthen through the inner arms. Lift your chest off of your wrists. Now turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Reestablish. Press down through the balls of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Push into the floor. Inhale. And on your exhalation, come into downward facing dog. Take your thighs back. Take your chest towards your thighs. And take your sit bones towards the ceiling. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. And you have to tell me, Monica, if any of this bothers your neck. Take your feet a little further forward from where they are. Now take them a little, there you go. Yeah, that's it. Now separate your feet a little further apart. Now lift your sit bones high. Ah, there we go. Now turn the thighs and press the thigh bones back, the tops of the thighs. Don't just jam the knees back. It is a straight leg, but it's not a jamming of the knees. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Press the thigh bones back. Now lengthen from the tip of the first finger through to the sits bones. Same as we did in Adho Mukha Virasana, in child's pose. Lift the elbows up, take the outer shoulders down. At the same time, that's the other way. Upper arms out, upper arms out. Lift the elbows up, outer shoulders down. Yes. And extend your outer heels towards the floor. Lift the outer hips up. Outer heels down, outer hips up. Now look up, walk your feet forward and hold your elbows. Come into Uttanasana, hold your elbows. Take your upper arms in line with your ears. Take your upper arms, you okay? All right, we're gonna do it a little differently with you next time. Try this, try this. Take your upper arms in line with your ears. Take your feet further apart, Monica, today, okay? So 10 toes forward, make sure you have 10 toes forward. Uttanasana, forward bend, 10 toes forward, upper arms in line with your ears. Let your skull completely release and let go. Press the thighs back. Now lift from the outer knees to the outer hips, right? There's a lift into the outer leg. Yep. And there's a lengthening of the inner groin still. So from the inner knees to the inner groins, really lengthen and move your hips towards the ceiling. Move your hips towards the ceiling to allow your torso to come over. And the hips go up, the torso goes down. Breathe. And then back to downward facing dog. Take your hands on the floor, let your arms go, hands on the floor, walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Now, Monica, I want you to do something. You guys are all gonna have to be in downward facing dog for a minute. But you guys know how to do it. Leanne, feet further back. Take your blocks. Turn them out like this slightly, the other way, okay? Press your thighs back, lengthen the groins. Turn them, so you have it like this. I want you to have it like this. That's it. Separate them a little bit more, have a little bit more space between them. Now take your hands on the blocks. Now straighten your legs. How does that feel? Does that feel better, same, or worse? I feel a little bit better. Okay. So everyone press down through the ball of the first finger and thumb. Lift the elbows up, take the outer shoulders down. Let the skull release, let the head go. The head dangles like a mango. I did not make that up. Now take your abdomen, roll it into your tailbone and press your thighs back even more. Really get those thighs pressing back. Extend your outer heels down, lift your outer hips up. And then coming out, look up, walk your feet forward, and then hold your elbows the opposite way you did the first time. Balance evenly on the 2 feet. Lengthen the inner groins from the inner knees all the way up to the lower abdomen. Keep pressing the thighs back. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. So again, the outer leg is contracting, the inner leg is lengthening here. Move your hips towards the ceiling. Let your torso fall over your thighs. Now push as you hold your elbows, push your elbows into your hands and broaden across the shoulder blades. Move the shoulder blades away from each other. And let your arms go. Take your torso parallel to the floor, sweep your arms back, hands slightly above your hips. Now move your shoulders away from your ears and push your arms back. Keep the thighs pressing back. Yep, torso parallel to the floor, thighs pressing back. Now take the chest forward. So shoulders back, arms back, thighs back, chest forward. Maintain this. Inhale, come up. And inhale and come up. And then turn to face the front. Take your feet either together Or if you prefer hip distance apart, that's fine. But remember what hip distance apart is. Hip distance means the femur bone is underneath the hip socket. It's not, way out here. So hip distance apart or feet together. Balance evenly on the 2 feet. Press the thigh bones back. Don't just press the knee bones back, but press the thighs back. So take your shin bone, for those that are pressing the knees back, which includes you, and I'm not picking on you, it's just your first class, so I'm trying to. If you feel like I'm picking on you at any time, just say, oh, Jonathan, you're saying my name too much. Leave me alone. Okay, good. Good. Take your shin bones forward and your thigh bones back. And by the way, some things I will say make absolutely no sense, but do it anyway. And in about 3 months, if you keep coming, and I hope you do, it'll begin to make sense. So the shin bone, the lower leg moves forward, but the thigh bone, the upper leg moves back. Still lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips. Still lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen, and it even goes all the way up into the chest. There's a lengthening there. And the chest begins to rise. But watch those front bottom ribs. Can you take the front bottom ribs towards the back body? And at the same time, take the back bottom ribs towards the front body. So the front bottom ribs go back. The back bottom ribs go forward. Shoulders stay over the hips the whole time. And then move your shoulders away from your ears as you extend through the arms. And take a moment to scan your body, and are you working evenly on the two sides? Is there an evenness on the two sides? The left leg and the right leg, the left arm and the right arm, the left side ribs and the right side ribs. And even the breath, filling the left lung and the right lung evenly. You don't need to force a deep breath. Just begin to observe the breath. The breath breathes you. But if you feel it's truly favoring one side in this moment, you can kindly and gently adjust it so that it fills both lungs evenly. And then take your arms out to the sides, drop your shoulders down. From your armpits, rotate your arms up. You'll go as far as you can from the armpits, and then just turn your wrists so the palm is up. Now watch those front ribs. Front ribs move back forward. So take the front bottom ribs back bottom ribs in. And drop the shoulders from your armpits. Push your arms up. Push the arms up from the armpits. Drop the shoulders down as the arms go up. Straighten the arms as best you can. Thighs back. Lengthening up through the side ribs. Create space through each of the side ribs. Front ribs back ribs in. And instead of just pulling up with your hands, can you use your side ribs to push the arms up? But as the arms go up, the shoulders remain down. Hands a little further apart, just to protect the neck, okay? Feel okay? Yeah. Breathe. Turn your hands out to the side. Exhale, come down. Interlace your fingers together. Take your right first finger on top. Turn your palms out. Now watch, even as we do this, we tend to push the palms out, and then we lean the shoulders back and push the ribs forward. So take the ribs into the body and take the shoulders over the hips. Now push the webbing of the fingers together and inhale, take the arms up. Keep the front ribs moving back, front ribs moving back. Don't tuck the chin, chin remains parallel to the floor. Upper arms in line with your ears or wherever they happen to go today. If you looked at me closely, my upper arms are not quite in line with my ears. Only 20 years of doing this. Send your wrist towards the ceiling, but move your shoulders and shoulder blades towards the floor. Hug your upper arms into your ears. Front ribs back ribs in. Release your arms out to the sides, come down. Interlace your fingers together, take your left first finger on top. Turn the palms out. Did you throw your thighs forward or your ribs forward? Can you adjust? Thighs back, front ribs back ribs forward. Push the webbing of your fingers together. Inhale, come up. Watch those ribs. Keep the ribs in the whole way up. Don't just adjust at the end. Keep it the whole way up. Wrist towards the ceiling, shoulders down. Now, the first side, I said push the webbing of the fingers together. This time, I want you to imagine pulling the fingers apart. They hold at the knuckles, so they're not really coming apart, but pull the fingers apart. Extend your wrist towards the ceiling. And draw from the outer elbows to the shoulders. Move the femur, the shoulder bone into the shoulder socket. So the wrists go up, shoulder bones move back down, the shoulders go down. Watch those ribs. Soft face, soft jaw. Release your arms out to the sides. Exhale. Come down. Take your hands behind you and hold your elbows. If you can't hold your elbows, then hold your forearms. If you can't hold your forearms, then hold your wrists. If you can't hold your wrists, hold your hands. It's kind of nice to hold your hands sometimes. Right? We all want someone to hold our hands. Sometimes we have to hold our own hands. So again, we're starting off with the base. Are you balanced evenly on the feet? Shin bones forward, thighs back. Shin bones forward, thighs back. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen, the whole inner groin. Front ribs moving back. Now, as the front ribs move back, I want you to take your forearms and push them into the body. But without, I don't want you to throw the torso forward. I just want you to take the forearms into the body without allowing the torso to push forward. And some of you might begin to feel that in the armpit chest, this area here, because something has to move. So push the forearms into the body. Those back ribs go in. Front ribs back, back ribs forward. And allow that armpit chest to open. And release, and then cross your forearms the opposite way. It should feel weird, right? It's the way that feels weird. Shin bones forward, thigh bones back. Outer knees to outer hips. Compact the hips together. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen. Now again, front ribs back ribs in. Take your forearms and push them into your back without allowing the torso to move. And release. Walk your left hand up your back. Use your right hand to help it. Some of you might be able to take hold of your elbow. That's fine. Otherwise, just have it underneath your forearm or underneath your wrist or underneath your hand, and use your right hand just to help move it up a millimeter, another millimeter. That's it. If that's accessible to an optimal place, I should say. When I started yoga, they would always say, adjust any amount. But Prashant, B.K. Iyengar's son, has been teaching as of late for a while now, optimally, as opposed to any amount, adjust optimally. So that, because otherwise we began working too hard and forcing things that shouldn't be forced. So can you learn to work optimally? So lengthen from the center of your sternum over your shoulder, down through your elbow. Your fingernails push into your back. Wherever it is. If you're here, push it into your back and then lengthen across the front. Open across the front. Watch those ribs though. Don't just puff the ribs forward. And by the way, you can do these poses waiting online in the store. The long Costco lines. Yeah. You just do this. What do you do with the ribs? I don't know. You draw them in because they tend to push out. So I want you to draw them in to release the diaphragm. Because otherwise the diaphragm hardens as it pushes out. And that's not good for the neck pain. Okay. And release. Other side. Walk your other arm, right arm up, right? So the hand faces the back. You walk it up. You use your left hand to help you. Push it up. Maybe you hold the elbow. Maybe you just hold under the forearm. Maybe you hold underneath the hand. Every body is different. And then lengthen from the center of the sternum, over the shoulder, down through the elbow. And push the fingernails into your back. Right, the front, not the sharp point, right? The back of the hand. Are you breathing? Front bottom ribs still go back bottom ribs in. And release, Tadasana. That was the lower arm for Gomukhasana. We're preparing for Gomukhasana, cow face pose. So Tadasana, just check in. What did that part of the pose do? What are the effects? Yoga is about studying the effects. So shin bones forward, thighs back, lift through the side ribs, shoulders down, extend through the arms. All right, the top arm now. Raise the right arm up. Rotate the arm so it faces the back. I'm not sure you can see me, so I'm gonna just go down so you can see it. So it faces the back, and then take it between your shoulder blades. All right, now take your left arm. You're all standing. I mean, if you want, you can go on your knees like I am, but this is just so not out of frame. Take your other hand, your left hand, reach across to the tricep and turn the tricep towards your nose. Turn it. And now lengthen from your hip all the way to the sideways, but really open that armpit. We're looking to open that armpit up and move the elbow up and maybe back, but more up than back. Think up, not just back. The shoulder still goes down. Don't lift the shoulder up when you take the elbow up. So the shoulder goes down, the elbows go up. But can you turn that tricep towards your nose? That's what opens up the back body, opens up the shoulder blades. Breathe. And then see what you can maintain. Maintain that right arm is up and release the left arm. For some of you, just pop, and that's okay. Notice it. Turn the tricep towards your nose and still lengthen. Open that armpit. And then extend the arm up. Turn it to the side. Go down. Left arm up. Rotate it to face the back. Take it down. Take the right hand across. Take that tricep towards your nose. Don't turn your head to do this. Watch those ribs. Those ribs are still going to want to come forward. So take the front ribs back and use that right hand to help you. Use the right hand. Turn the tricep towards your nose. Open that armpit. Extend from the hip all the way through the armpit, through the elbow. The elbow goes up, the shoulder goes down. Breathe. Or don't stop yourself from breathing. Let the breath breathe you. And now see what you can maintain. Keep the awareness there as you move the right hand. Now turn the tricep towards your nose. Open the armpit, lengthen. Take that elbow up. And as it goes up, it will go back. And then take the left arm up, turn it to the side, and come down. If you already know that you can clasp hands behind you, you don't need a strap. So for those who are unsure, take a strap and put it over your right shoulder. You can take a blue strap from there. All right, so the strap is over your right shoulder. Take your left hand, extend it out to the side, turn it to face the back, and then bend the elbow and take hold of the strap. Or, if you can take your hand between your shoulder blades, that's fine. Otherwise, you take hold of the strap. And again, you can use your right hand and move it an optimal amount up. Maybe you get an extra millimeter there. And then take your right arm, move it up, turn it to face the back. And then again, hold the strap. Of course, maybe your fingers clasp. That's fine. Otherwise, you just hold the strap like this. And over time, you begin to crawl your hands towards each other. Now from the center of the sternum, watch those ribs. So ribs towards the back body. Make sure your toes point forward, Monica. because it starts at the feet. Everyone, either your feet are together in Tadasana. If you're hip distance apart, you have to be more careful that the toes are really pointing forward. So from the center of the sternum, extend over the left shoulder down through the left elbow, ribs in. The top arm, take the tricep towards your nose. You have to do it on your own now. And extend that elbow up, not just back, it's up and back. As the elbow goes up, the shoulder goes down. And move those elbows away from each other. And then extend the right arm up. Take the left hand out by your side. Take your palms together at the side. Take your right elbow forward. This little post adjustment. And then release, come back to Tadasana. And check in, we're not between poses. How does that one side of Gomukhasana, how does that reflect into your body? What is your experience now? Did it do anything? Was there a reason for doing that pose? Check in with the body, check in with the breath, check in with the mind. And then move the strap to the other side if you're using one. So again, now take your right hand, it goes out to the side first, then rotate it. Really, you rotate in front from the top of the arm. Rotate it so the palm faces back. And then you bend the elbow, take hold of the strap. If it goes up between your shoulder blades, that's fine. Otherwise, you take hold of that strap. Left arm up, rotate it so it faces the back, and then take hold of the strap. Or yes, you can hold the knuckles if that's accessible today. Be clear, sometimes people go, oh, look, you can take your hands together. I did 15 or 16 years of yoga without getting my hands to touch. So wherever you are in your journey, that's where you are. And please don't compare yourself to anybody else. Oh, wait, where am I? This side. Left and right is very hard when you're mirroring people and turning around and things are behind you. All right, balance evenly on your feet. Shin bones forward, thighs back, front ribs back. That's important. Now the lower arm, the right arm from the center of your sternum, extend over that right shoulder. That right shoulder does move back and down slightly and extend through the elbow. Top arm, turn the tricep towards your nose and extend that elbow up. Open that armpit, extend the elbow up. Yes, the arm goes back also, but can you take it up? Can you then move, as you take that tricep towards your nose, can you move the elbows away from each other? Nose forward, chin parallel to the floor. And reach the arm up. Take your other hand, the right hand on the outside of the waist. Take the palms together. Take the left elbow forward. And release. Let's do this one more time. So move the strap if you need to. Right hand out to the side. Now here's the thing. In many poses, we turn the upper arm out, okay? The upper arm rotates in. Rotate the upper arm in. The upper arm rotates in through the whole entire pose. Then take the arm down and crawl your hand up that strap or between your shoulder blades. The upper arm of that bent elbow turns in, not out. Extend the left arm up. Rotate to face that. This one turns out. Bend it. Take the hands together or take hold of the strap, your choice. So the lower arm, the right arm rotates in. The upper arm rotates out, tricep towards your nose. Extend your elbows away from each other. Keep those ribs in. Front ribs back. Back ribs forward, yes. Front ribs back ribs in. Chin parallel to the floor. Nose forward. And reach the left arm up. Turn it out to the side. The right hand goes next to your waist. Take your palms together. Elbow forward and release. Other side, with or without the strap is fine. Left arm out to the side. Rotate it to face the back. bend it. And so really rotate. It's not just that the hand rotates. Rotate that upper arm in. Rotate the upper arm in, right? The arm turns in all directions or both directions. Then extend the right arm up. Rotate to face the back. So that's rotating out. Take hold of the strap or your hands. So the lower arm turns in. The upper arm turns out. Tricep towards the nose. And then extend those elbows away from each other while keeping the front ribs back. Are you observing? Are you waiting for the next instruction, or are you studying your pose? And then right arm up, take the left hand out on the side of the body, palms together, elbow forward, and release, Tadasana. You can take the strap off. And be here in Tadasana. Reflect in the pose. What's different? What's changed? Why do we do that? Do you want to do it again? Not now, I mean in your life. Or now, you can do it again. All right, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Set up your blocks again, okay? So on your blocks or your chair or or the floor or the stairs, your choice. Press down through the ball of the first finger thumb, rotate the upper arms out, push into the floor, lengthen the arms, turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Now inhale, lengthen through the arms. Exhale, downward facing dog. Thighs back, chest towards your thighs, sit bones towards the ceiling. Lift your elbows up, take your outer shoulders down. Let your head go, let your skull completely release. Thighs back, heels down, hips up. Is this any different? Does this feel different than before we did all that shoulder work? What's different? What's changed? And then bend your legs, touch your knees to the floor at precisely the same moment, or if you're on the chair or the stairs, just walk forward to Tadasana, and then everybody come up into Tadasana. So was that different? Was that different? That downward facing dog? Couldn't tell? Okay, was that different? Yeah, my shoulders are getting sore. Shoulders sore? No. Just noticeable. Yeah, they're moving. And it's okay. You don't have to notice a difference. Over time, my guess is you will. But first yoga class, I remember my first yoga class. My first yoga class was horrible. It's a miracle that I ever came back. My third yoga class, I went to a different teacher. That was the one. That was amazing. That changed everything. That's why this place exists, because of my third yoga class. Take your right elbow on top of your left elbow. Cross your forearms. Touch your palms. Good. Take your thumb next to your first finger. So instead of wrapping around like that, take it like that. Yeah, no, the other way. There you go. Mm-hmm. You're getting closer. That's good. Nice. Upper arms parallel to the floor. Watch those ribs. You see those front bottom ribs coming forward? So draw them back. Take your upper arms parallel to the floor, but stop when your body says stop. Listen to your body, not me. Take your forearms perpendicular to the floor, and then rotate the wrist so the knife edge of your hand faces forward. So this edge of your hand faces forward. So you're not here, you're here. And then broaden across the top of the back. Move those shoulder blades away from each other and fill those back lungs. The outer shoulder bones move away from each other. The back outer shoulder bones move away from each other. And release. Left elbow on top of right, cross the forearms, touch the palms. Front ribs back. Upper arms parallel to the floor. Forearms perpendicular to the floor. Rotate the wrist so the knife edge of your hand points forward. Front ribs back, back ribs in. Broaden across the top of the back. Move the shoulder, corners of the shoulders, the back shoulders away from each other, and fill up those back lungs. And release. One more time. Right on top of left, cross the forearms, touch the hands. Elbows up, forearms away from your face. Rotate the wrist so the knife edge of your hand points forward. Front bottom ribs back. Soften your face, jaw, lips, tongue. Broaden the top of the back. The shoulder blades move away from each other. And release, other side, left over right. Upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular to the floor. Rotate the wrist so the knife edge of the hand points forward. Watch those ribs, front ribs back. Broaden across the top of the back. Move the shoulder blades away from each other. And check in, we're reflecting. Take your arms forward, draw the shoulder bones into the shoulder sockets, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, take the arms up. Shoulders down, arms up, front ribs back. Does this feel different than it did before? I know we got into it a different way. Triceps towards the nose here, right? The triceps move towards the nose. That moves the shoulder blades away from each other. Turn your hands onto the sides. Exhale, come down. Move the shoulders down. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior pose 1. Take your fingertips up by your chest. Then you have to turn now. So take the blocks off of your mat and turn to face the front. Fingertips up by your chest. Bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Take your hands on your hips. We're going to start to the left today. Turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out. Pick up your back heel. Now square your hips to the side wall. So square those hips and then take the back heel down. But keep that right hip moving forward. Right hip forward. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen. So the groins are still lengthening. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips. Now watch those front bottom ribs. Take those front bottom ribs towards the back body. Inhale, keep the torso lifted. Exhale, bend the front leg. Front leg goes to a 90-degree angle. So knee over the ankle. See, I didn't even take my feet wide enough apart. I have to lengthen my stance as I come down. So my knee is over the ankle, thigh parallel to the floor. Take that right hip forward. So the back thigh turns in. The hip comes forward. Now draw the front ribs towards the back body. Draw your abdomen towards the spine. And lift the abdomen up towards your chest as you lift your chest. Now drop the right buttock down, and then the arms will come up. Arms forward, arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. You can either look straight ahead, or if you have the flexibility in the side ribs, if the side ribs are lifting your chest, then you can begin to look up. Don't just crank your neck to look up. How's this feeling? Tiring's okay. I like tiring. Yeah, take the right hip forward, wherever, as much as you can. It's your first class, so be kind to yourself. I just want to make sure it's not hurting your neck. Worse than it already hurts. Shoulders down as the arms go up. Arms are straight. Now, reach through the arms. Reach up as you straighten the front leg. Parallel your feet. Take your arms out to the sides and take your hands on your hips. If it begins to bother your neck, you just take your hands on your hips, okay? Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Pick up your back heel. Now take that left hip forward and take the heel down. They may not get exactly square, that's okay. Turn the back thigh in though, that helps take the hip forward, and do press into the back heel. Take the front ribs back, but don't forget, outer knees to outer hips. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together, and lengthen those inner groins. Then inhale, lift the chest, exhale, bend the leg. You got it, I'm watching you. Hands on hips, bend that front leg. Knee over the ankle, thigh parallel to the floor. Turn that back thigh in, turn the back leg in. So the hip comes forward, press into the back heel. Now take the front bottom ribs back. Take the abdomen towards the spine and take the abdomen, lift it up towards your chest as you lift the chest. And then arms forward, arms up. Palms face each other. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior pose 1. Drop the right buttock down, take the left hip forward, arms up, shoulders down. You can either gaze forward, or if you have the lift in the side ribs, sure, you can look up. The final pose is looking up. But we're not worried about the final pose. We're worried about the effects of the pose you're doing now. And then reach through the arms as you straighten your front legs. Parallel your feet. Take your arms out to the side. And jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. One more time. Fingertips up. Bend your legs, jump or step your feet apart. And take your hands on your hips. Turn your right foot in, turn your left leg out. Pick up your back heel. Take that right hip forward. And you know what? This time, here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to take your heel down, but I want you to take your heel right behind your toes. So you're going to square your hips this time. It's not the traditional pose, but it's an adjustment to it. So the heel will be up. Don't take the heel down. So your hips are perfectly square. Your right foot is in line with your right hip. Your left foot is in line with your left hip. And the heel is also in line with the hip and the foot. Turn the back thigh in. Now, you're not taking the heel to the floor, but you are pressing the heel back. So you're pressing the heel back towards the wall behind you, that back leg. And on the front of the leg, this is what's important. This is why we're doing this. Take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. So you're opening the front of the back leg or the front of the back hip. Now keep that lifting from the front of the back thigh, lift right up into your chest, and then bend the front leg. But keep extending through that back heel, even if it's though it's not touching the floor, and keep lifting the flesh of the front of the back thigh up into your chest. And you should feel a nice opening, hopefully, in that the front of the right thigh. Take the top of the buttocks down. Now draw your abdomen into your spine. Lift your abdomen right up into your chest. Extend your arms forward, and then drop the left buttock down as the arms go up all the way. And still pressing through that back heel. Still lengthening from the front of the flesh of the front of the back thigh. Lift that right up into your chest. Lift the side ribs and chest. And as you extend through the arms, take the shoulders down. Now take a moment to study. Study your pose. And reach up through the arms, straighten your front leg, parallel your feet, both feet down, hands out to the sides, hands on hips. Other side, left foot in, right leg out. So you're going to pick up the back heel, but you're not taking the heel down. You're turning so the hips are squared. The back heel is right behind the toes now, right? Yes, normally it's inside the toes and the toes slightly turned out. I'm asking for a completely straight foot today. So your foot is parallel to those sides walls. The back thigh turns in. Now extend through the back heel, but extend towards the wall behind you. It may go down, but it won't go down towards the floor, and you're not trying to get it onto the floor. Take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. So there's that opening on the very front of the hip. The thigh, yes, it presses back. Extend through the heel. The more you extend through the heel, the more you'll feel that lifting of the front of the back thigh. Take the top of the buttocks down, front ribs back. Inhale. Now keep pressing through the heel. Keep lifting the front of the back thigh. Exhale, bend the front leg, 90-degree angle. Keep extending through the heel. Take the flesh of the front of the back thigh right up into your chest. open that front of the hip. Take the top of the buttocks down, and then extend your arms forward, arms up, abdomen into the spine, and the abdomen helps lift the chest. Arms up now. If you're taking your arms up, of course, you don't have to. You can keep hands on hips. Drop the shoulders down as the arms go up. If hands are on hips, Monica, take the elbows back towards each other slightly. That's the one. Yep. Does that feel better? And then reach up through the arm, straighten the front leg, parallel your feet, arms out to the side, and jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Downward facing dog. You pick it, blocks, chair, floor. Press through the ball of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Push into the floor to lengthen through those side ribs. Turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Inhale, and then exhale, come into downward facing dog. Thighs back, chest towards your thighs. Sit bones towards the ceiling. Lift your elbows up, take your outer shoulders down. Have that space. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Have that space. Lengthen through the inner arms, the armpits, and side ribs. Watch those front ribs. Don't sink the front bottom ribs to the floor, but take the front bottom ribs again, even here, towards the back body. Take your abdomen, roll it into your tailbone, and press your thighs back as if your abdomen itself is pressing the thighs back. Get that extra length on the side ribs and spine. And then bending your legs, touch your knees to the floor precisely the same moment, or just walk up into Tadasana and then come up. Take your chair, turn the chair so the back of the chair faces the front and face the side of the room. So the right side of your body is facing the chair. Square your hips, your knees, and your heels. So knees are hip distance apart, the heels are underneath your knees. Watch those front bottom ribs, keep them towards the back body. Extend your arms forward, arms up. So Urdhva Hastasana again. Rotate the upper arms towards your ears, shoulders down. But we're lengthening up through the side ribs and spine. Inhale, on your exhalation, take your arms out to the sides. Inhale, exhale, take hold of the sides of the chair. Open hands, not a hard fist. Elbows up to drop the shoulders down. Broaden across the front of the spine, the front of the chest and the back of the chest. Inhale, lift up through the side ribs. Exhale, turn. Pace of your breath. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Don't just turn the head. So everyone, look over your left shoulder. Look over your left shoulder. And inhale, lift. Exhale, turn. You can actually turn a little bit more if you look the opposite way. And then inhale, lift. Exhale. Now you can turn your head over your right shoulder. Use your hands to help turn, right? That's it. So you're pulling with the left, pushing with the right. But don't hold a tight fist, just flat hand. That's it. Take your left shoulder blade into the body. Maintain that lift. Inhale, exhale, come to center. Turn around. Square your hips, knees, heels. Watch those ribs. Take the ribs into the body. It also really helps, especially in twists, to lengthen the inner thighs. So from the inner knee to the lower abdomen. And descend the flesh of the inner thighs down. Now maintain that. Extend the arms forward, arms up, shoulders down as the arms go up. Inhale, exhale, take your arms out to the side. You'll get used to it, Monica. Inhale, exhale, turn. Take hold to the back of the chair. So now you're pulling with the right hand, pushing with the left hand. Elbows up, shoulders down. No tight grip. So take those elbows out to the sides, Monica. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Not just the head. So everyone, look over your right shoulders. You do this. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. The lift is more important than the turn. Don't collapse on the turn. Inhale, lifting. Maintain that lift, and then turn. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Now one more time. Now you'll turn the head. Inhale, lifting up to the sideways. Maintain that lift. Exhale. Now you can turn your head to gaze over your left shoulder. Soften your groins. Take your right shoulder blade into the body and rotate optimally for you today. Elbows up, shoulders down. Move the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Allow the breath to breathe you. Maintain that lift. Inhale. Exhale, come to center. Come on up. Turn the chair to face the front of the room. Have a seat in the chair. We did this one the other day. So sit in the chair with your heels just on the, if it depends on whatever chair you have, but in this type of chair, the heels on the outside of the chair legs works. And if you have another kind of chair, feel it out and do what's comfortable for you. Now you're going to come forward, but I don't want you to collapse onto your abdomen. I want you to lift up over the hips. So lift up and then extend forward, then take your hands between your feet. It's a variation of Malasana. And then you can use your knees to squeeze into your upper arms, your shoulders, wherever they may hit. Now, if your hands are not on the ground, a couple things. One is extend the heel of the hand towards the ground, but you can, and you might want to do this, Monica, you can also take a couple blocks, and now your hands can be flat so that you can press through the heel of the hand, especially the inner heel of the hand. So not the outer hand, but press through that inner heel of the hand, and then use your legs to, if your knees are at your elbow, you have to be careful, don't do that. But as long as they're touching a part of the muscle, then you can use your knees to squeeze your arms towards each other. But your shoulders, you're moving your shoulders away from each other. Can you get your hands flat on the block?
Yeah, but my knees are quite apart, so I was wondering if those.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay 6 feet away. Go into it. I'm just gonna be over here for a second. Yeah, take the blocks further apart. Take the blocks further apart. Yeah, so they're touching the feet. They should. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And have that right foot facing forward. Sit further back in the chair. Yeah, further back. There. Oh, there we go. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
And turn that right foot in though. The right foot. There you go. How does that feel?
That's okay.
Okay. And if you don't need the blocks, if your hands reach the floor, then of course you can do that. All right, let's give yourself a little break. We'll go back. Take your hands on your knees and just push to come up. Extend the chest forward as you push to come up. Take a breath here. So now we'll do it one more time. So the options are, you have your blocks here. You have your floor. And everyone certainly go to, if you're going to the floor, go to the floor first. But then what you'll do, then you'll reach back and hold the back bar of the chair. Not everyone will be able to do that. So if you can't hold, you stay here. If you are going to the back bar of the chair, pause here. So everyone, hands on the block or floor, press into the inner heel of the hand. Yep, come on in. Press to the inner heel of the hand and use the knees to push into those upper arms. But the shoulders are resisting. It's not like you're trying to squeeze yourself. The shoulders resist outward. The upper arm turns out. And for those that can reach for that back bar of the chair. And look, here's the deal. If you can't reach, there are a lot of factors in this. One is the distance of the back of the chair. Not all chairs are made the same. The length of your arms. Not all arms are made the same. So if you have a wide base of the chair and short arms, you're not going to reach the back of the chair even if you have all the flexibility in the world. Okay? So this is not a place for judgment here. It is a place for noticing and experimenting and studying. And whichever version you're in now, you can still use your knees to squeeze the body. Soft abdomen. And then release the arms, take them on the floor, or maybe they're on blocks. And take your hands onto right above your knees, onto your thighs. And inhale, come up. Take your feet underneath or in line with your knees and hips. Arms forward, arms up. Urdhva Hastasana. Watch those ribs. Keep the ribs in. Soften your face. Turn your arms out to the sides. Exhale, come down. Tadasana in the chair. Ribs in, shoulders down. Still lengthening the inner groin, still compacting the hips. It doesn't matter whether you're standing or sitting. And release. All right, move the blocks, move the chair. Lie back on your mat. So lie back, bend both legs into your chest. Just bend both legs into your chest. And give yourself a little hug here. Then hold your hands around your right shin only and place your left foot onto the floor. Now draw your right thigh towards your torso, but keep that right outer hip away from your shoulder so that the two side ribs are equal in length. So take the right outer hip away from the shoulder, draw the right thigh towards your torso, and drag the left heel on your mat to straighten the left leg. The left thigh turns and toes are up. And as you extend through the inner left leg, draw the right thigh towards your torso. There you go. Turn that left thigh in though, Monica. Yep. So you should, on the left heel, you should feel the pressure between the center of the heel and the inner heel, not on the outer heel. Relax the shoulders, relax the face, and keep drawing that right thigh towards your torso as you continue to extend the inner left leg. Allow the breath to breathe you. And then bend the left leg into your chest next to your right. And then hold around the left shin only. Place your right foot on the floor. So take the left outer hip away from your shoulder and draw the thigh towards your torso. And as you draw that thigh towards your torso, drag your right leg on the floor until your right leg is straight. Keep drawing the left thigh towards the torso as you extend through the inner right leg. Still lengthening the groins. That right thigh presses down. Monica, try and not have that shin crossing over, but have your shin right. So you're like this. See if you can be like this. Yeah, pulls right towards you, right towards your abdomen. That's it. Does that feel okay? Soften your shoulders, your neck, shoulders, soften your face. And as you draw that left thigh towards the torso, extend through the inner right leg. And bend the right leg into your chest next to the left. Give yourself another hug here. Say something kind to yourself. Say something loving to yourself. As if you're really hugging yourself. Offer gratitude towards yourself. Now take your hands to the face of your knees. And then inhale. Keep your hands on the knees. And on your inhalation, let the legs move away from you just a little bit, 2-3 inches. And then on your exhalation, draw them towards you. So inhale, let the legs move away. That's it. Exhale, draw them towards you. No tight grips with the hands, though. Hands are very soft. You're just massaging the abdomen and lower back. Inhale, legs move away. Exhale, legs move towards you. Inhale, legs moving away. Exhale, legs move towards you. On your next inhalation, take your feet to the floor. Scoop the flesh of your buttocks towards your heels and then straighten your legs one at a time. Let your legs fall apart and take your arms out to the sides comfortably. Maybe they're about 30-degree angles to the body. Do you have space in your armpits? Whatever's comfortable for you in the arms, find a comfortable place for you and let go. If there's tenderness in your lower back, you can either take your calves on the chair, or if you need, bend your legs, and that's fine too. Or if you're at home, you can take a bolster or rolled blankets underneath your knees. Let go. Let your arms and your legs flow away from your torso as if they are releasing, letting go. Like 4 streams flowing away from the source. The arms and legs are the streams, the torso is the source. Let the arms and the legs flow away from the torso. Let the torso itself surrender to the Mother Earth below you. Release, relax all of your facial features, softening your forehead, softening your eyebrows and the space between your eyebrows, softening the temples. Release, relax your eyelids, even the eyelashes, each individual eyelash hair, letting go. Release, relax your nose, the tip of your nose, the inside walls of your nostrils. Release, relax your cheekbones. Release, relax your cheeks, the outer cheeks, the outside of your cheeks, but also the inner cheeks, the inside of your mouth. Soften your lips, top lip, bottom lip, corners of your lips. And release, relax your tongue, the tip of your tongue, the way back root of your tongue. Release, relax your throat and the sides of your neck, the flesh flowing towards the floor. Let go everything, hold nothing. Let go everything, hold nothing. Let go. Surrender. Shavasana. Become a witness for the breath. Allow the breath to breathe you. To begin slowly coming out, take a soft, smooth, peaceful inhalation and a longer, smooth, peaceful exhalation. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your nose. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart, and place your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. Let the healing energy of your hands penetrate your body, pierce through your layers, and heal whatever it is you may need healing with today. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear, roll to the right side. Be on your right side for a moment. When you feel ready, turn your torso towards the floor. Place your hand uh, in front of your heart and push to come up. Come up to sitting. Cross your legs the opposite way you did at the beginning of class. Bring your palms together at your heart. Draw your eyes back and down as you turn the corners of your lips up. Observing your practice. What's different? What's changed? Offering gratitude for this moment in space and time. Offering gratitude for you. And let's close our practice by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Om. Gently let your eyelids open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you.